Hi guys, welcome to Supply Chain Universe. I'm Victoria and now let's talk supply chain and the myth of specialized IT systems for planning. What will not be discussed in this video? We'll not touch upon the issues of classification, selection, implementation of information solutions designed to automate forecasting, planning, and supply chain management. Here we are more interested in the phenomenon of the so-called specialized planning solutions. At one time they were called APS, Advanced Planning and Scheduling, and why they often don't live up to expectations. Of course, in some cases they work, as the authors of this video have seen and sometimes implemented, but this is rather a confirmed exception.
You see, this is exactly what I'm talking about!
Probably, first of all, the essence of the mentioned hopes are fascinating, and it is she who will allow discovering the reason. For the sake of purity, let's assume that all the mandatory conditions for using such kind of systems are satisfied, and as consultants like to say, there is support from the top management, there are processes, there is team, there is data, and so on. We'll delve on this list of illusions separately in the following videos. And everything is there, but overall it is sad.
It is so sad.
And to move on to hopes itself, it is worth first diving into the subject area a little. What are these specialized planning solutions? So, history. Modern consulting distinguishes two groups of solutions in the field of supply chain management.
Attractive! Nice software!
Decisions aimed at planning proper, and solutions dealing with data for after planning, including all kinds of analytical systems, data management systems for planning, end-to-end fact tracking systems.
We tracked his supply chain.
The so-called control tower. This video will focus on the first type of system. There are many publications on the history of their origin, but as always the starting point is still subjective. For the video authors, the birth of such systems was in the late 80s when IT Technologies released a product called Factory Planner, which aimed to automate production planning processes. Before we go any further, let's dwell on what the authors called a hallucination and a hallucination of the second order. What is supply chain management?
What chain?
Of course, by now there are many definitions of supply chain management, and all definitions of various authors and schools are united by the following essential features: an integrated approach, global optimum, general communication and coordination, a dedicated organizational structure that deals with this, and all this together is a myth.
That's a myth.
That the video should open or on the contrary open and rediscover. To rediscover means understanding what the myth has awakened to life and in which direction it is worth looking for a truly working alternative. So let's go back to information solutions for planning. So evolutionary, they were caused by an increasing flow of data, which had to be taken into account when creating an ideal plan.
Absolutely ideal, didn't we?
Ideal.
Technically, they implemented certain mathematical and informational concepts, starting from the theory of constraints, linear programming, genetic algorithms, and others. The informational aspect, the speed of calculation, were also involved. Aggregately, solutions in the field of supply chain management can be divided into the following groups: solutions for forecasting demand,
or trend forecasting, that's weird,
solutions for modeling the physical supply chain, where and what warehouses, factories to build, etc. Solutions for optimal flows planning in an already defined physical chain. Their variability remains. The choice of suppliers, customers, transport decisions, where to buy or to produce. solutions for planning the specific areas of supply chains, planning of production, transportation, distribution, stocks, warehouses, collaborative planning with partners.
Let's be partners, Kenny.
I mean so-called collaborative planning, forecasting and replenishment, CPFR. And solutions for scaling of individual chain elements. From experience, one can compile the following list of incipient hopes.
You are listing my broken dreams.
The first, but not in order of priority, group is the big red button hope. Just press this button and the system will give you the perfect plan. The main thing here is not even the transfer of the responsibility, but the conditional instantaneousness of obtaining the result, instant sublimation. At the same time, you can do it without people. The second group consists of the hopes for the ideal plan, which a person cannot build without a system. You can wait, but get precisely the ideal.
No, that's not ideal.
The third group is the perfect plan that slow employees cannot do. The emphasis here is not that a plan cannot be made without a system, but in the absence of trust in your employees and the desire to control them. The fourth is the ability to monitor recent changes and correct all actions on the fly. The third pursuit here is that there is more and more information, and even the responsible person will not keep track of everything. The system will allow you to be on the alert. Don't go home for checking if the iron is turned off.
And I turned it off.
The fifth group is the hope that the system will make the decision for us. Here somewhat the fear of responsibility. Mentally, a person is rather contradictory object or subject, if you like. And in practice, these hopes make up a particular cocktail in each specific case. For all apparent heterogeneity, all types of hopes have a lot in common with the proto-hope, which we derived previously, emphasizing the essence of supply chain management, to build Campanella's city of the sun in a world created by man. Here is worth clarifying the world created. Modern human nature is what it wasn't always so, and the structure of thought are such that they require more and more information to support life. Another illusion is that this information arises on its own. A person seeks to increase entropy.
An illusion.
At the same time, while maintaining a primal craving for the ideal, a person is lost as a person in these conditions. He understands that he is no longer enough in his own created world, and he calls for help from the gods created by him. And from philosophy, it is known that man-made gods are rather devils, but these are already lyrics. And now the practical question is why it doesn't work. But at the same time, we will keep in memory that, and it is highly illusory, that all reasonable conditions for the system's operations are met. Why it doesn't work. In the beginning, let's agree on what it means doesn't work.
Does not work.
The systems themselves, for the most part, are functioning and quite successfully, all other things being equal. But again, doesn't work here, it means that the system doesn't realize the hopes embedded in them. Before summarizing, a few specific examples without company names and names that have no sense.
Examples? I think they want some examples, Piers.
First, for example, company A has been using material flow optimization solutions for over a year horizon in its current configuration. The plan issued by the system could also be obtained in Excel. No optimization occurs. The number of external and internal constraints is such that the optimization system is used as extended calculator.
No. Sorry? Software shit.
Second one, companies B1 and B2 use their solution to form optimal production plans. In the first case, plans are created regularly, but they only reflect decisions made outside the system. Decisions on production plans are made in a non-algorithmized form, taking into account qualitative factors. At the same time, expertly, decisions are reasonable and appropriate. In the second case, the plans are put on the shelf, and in real life they are finalized by hand.
I write the software myself.
The third one, company C, and this is a long history, used automated forecasting solutions. The result is severe losses.
Looks like there's some software problems.
And as the reason is the negligence of employees who forgot to change the algorithm.
Good. I can give you like 20 examples.
In the examples above, two key points can be traced. First, a person is not ready to give up deciding a non-human in the area where he can, whether it is wrong or good, make decisions himself.
Your software works, right?
And the second one, specialized information systems with super intelligent stuffing are used and sometimes are used very effectively as unified information fields with which people work. The systems are working, but just not working as expected. What's next? Unfortunately, we cannot change the features of human thought mentioned in this video. The issue is in using specialized planning solutions lies in the readiness of the irreversible transfer of human decisions to non-humans. The hopes mentioned here must die.
And hope to die.
And hope to die.
Either by themselves or with our own hands. Systems will evolve, of course, just like human science. And both of these points are a matter of choice for each company. Question. Of course, some viewers can argue with the content of this video and the conclusions. One can give examples of working systems and so on.
On real software projects, I have...
There is only one answer. This video aims to reflect the dogmatic course of things. Of course, real life can vary infinitely, but the authors are confident around the axes highlighted in this video. The video doesn't try to grasp the immensity. It pursues only one goal: to show the illusory nature of the concept of supply chain management through its individual manifestations. This video touched on specialized information systems in light of the idea of supply chain management and the system's work.
It's impressive software.
Finally, if you like my video, please don't forget to subscribe and do please comment with your thoughts, suggestions and any questions. Thanks for watching. See you. Bye.